Hey, these photos are terrific. Boy, they're great. Who is this Robert Capa? Wait till Robert Capa sees my photos. You've never seen pictures like these. They're simply terrific. They'll get me $500,000, surely. Yes, I know, darling. You won't do any orgy scenes. But what difference does it make? Well, Fifi knows his business. He can put in your stand-in's body and just your face. The man's a clever old fox, my dear. Vincenzino Rocca had nothing to do with Anchise's murder. You can be sure of that. He's got the faces of the guys that did it. Beautiful, lifelike photographs. 10 of them. Shot right on the spot. Uncle Fifi knows his merchandise. Listen to this. 2 guys murder a third. Put him in a car, get into another behind it, and make it smash into a steamroller. They light a fire. 10 photos, a man's in a car in flames, and the 2 guys right there watching. Interesting, huh? We stayed up all night worrying about what to do. And wind up in jail? No, I'm afraid that wouldn't be at all the right thing to do. Holy smoke. Olga, what the hell have you done? The negatives of the Anchise killing for which they paid us $20 million. You're wrong. With that kind of money, they have a right not only to those photos. What's really important are the negatives, don't you understand? They have a right to demand the originals. They paid for them. Why, I can print dozens of pictures from these negatives and sell them to other people.
Carlo, aren't you finished yet? I'm not going to bed without you. You know I need you near me to keep me warm. These pictures are really awful. There isn't one which resembles me. Listen, my darling, I do also have a face, you know. Tomorrow I'm telling Uncle Fifi right to his face. No orgy scenes, forget it. No, not even for $1 million. Yes, a dirty prostitute. She'll do most anything to make money because she's a whore. She's a filthy old pig, I know.
Now the problem is all of this money. What should we do? Hide it?
And how about you? Oh, no, you wouldn't. What's the matter?
I must have switched the negatives without knowing.
Darling.
But they have the pictures, don't they? Doesn't matter that much. Once they publish the photos, what's the use of the negatives? They can make their own negatives. Yes, but you wouldn't do that because you're afraid.
And I don't blame you.
Now, don't you think you're exaggerating a little bit? I'm going to stop you now, before it's too late.
It's better this way, Carlo.
Aren't you famished?
Oh, silly. I didn't mean that. I've got a hole in my stomach. I don't know. Wouldn't you prefer to remain here in the house? Go on and get something we'll eat here. Go on, be a good boy now. No, I want to stay right here. You and I alone.
This cadaver must be a burden on your conscience, eh? That's rather naive, I would say. 20 million can entice even a gentleman. Can you imagine Mauri someone like Uncle Fifi? In these cases, no one chooses anything. Neither the killer nor the man who's killed. Those who make the decisions are the only ones who choose. A cadaver, a funeral, and complete silence. They wanted those photos. But here, now, is a second hypothesis. Let us suppose the photos do exist. Uncle Fifi, or some young kid he designates to do it, brings them first to an individual instead of a news agency. Now, we're just supposing that he is the assassin of prosecuting attorney Anchise. He doesn't believe the kid. Or he won't pay. Or he just can't afford to pay. But watches carefully every move of Uncle Fifi's. Then when the kid leaves to see Roversi, he follows him to the appointment. So he sees the kid handing Roversi the photos and negatives. He has no choice other than to kill. If he doesn't liquidate Roversi and grab those photos, he's cooked. Right. But he didn't do it. So you see, that's it. That's exactly it. That's exactly what is leading me to think of a third hypothesis.
You don't know what to do. Unless you tell me I'm not a mind reader. Did you hear that, Vincent? How about that? And should I explain to you how you're to make love? Just lie down like the others and act like a seductive woman. Thanks for arriving. Where's Olga? Firmly, take it. Come on now, all of you. Participate with each other. Think like those sensuous Romans. Let your blood boil in your veins. Oh, no, Gigi, get on top of Joe and involve that sexless old man.
We can. I've read you some pretty important pictures here, son. Around 15 million. Even 20 if the dead man is worth it. Whatever money we make, we split. Nothing. Bide some time. Just bide some time. Never make a move before the police. Come on, Carlo. You know I always take 2. Vincenzino Rocca, right arm of Salvatore Aniello, was brought in by the police for questioning. The police believe that the death of State Prosecuting Attorney Anchise was not an accident. Now I think we can move in. but only in the right direction. And we mustn't make any mistakes, not even one. This is not like a cheap film. It's art. An art of crime, but art. It's a perfect deal. If there's anything to worry about, you can feel certain it's not the police, son.
Vincenzino Rocco, right arm of Salvatore Aniello. Vincenzino. My right arm, nothing. What did they forget? He hasn't been with Salvatore Aniello ever since the Santi case. Now it's again the mafia, always the mafia. Everybody has their word in his mouth. I was loving with a girl, what of it? What are you thinking of, anyhow?
Uncle Fifi. So he sent you to me. Women. Oh, those times are past. Tell him I thank him just the same.
You hear that, Romanò? 20 million just to help Vincenzino out of trouble. Uncle Fifi is nuts. His sickness touched his brain. He forgot how we make deals. Salvatore Aniello was not an ass kid. Tell that lousy pimp I ain't falling for it. Tell him! All right, Garou, you got enough, yes or no? You know who I am. You got nothing to say to me? You don't speak? You don't know nothing, right? This time I'll buy it. But I'm giving you some good advice. Return to Sicily, where you can breathe. So long, Garou. So they found the gun on him. Well, what of it? Huh? Well, it wasn't his gun, right? So prove it then. Otherwise, what do I pay you? Romanò, huh?
You're somewhat concerned over this. First, they'll have to demonstrate that it was not a real accident. I wouldn't worry about what the papers say, though, unless the boys are involved. The least you speak about this, the better. Just let me handle it. Don Salvatore, I'll keep it a secret. The afternoon of the accident, where were you really? Why, nothing, believe me. And then it's what the police think that really counts. There's really no reason for us to get preoccupied then. For loving a girl, they won't hang you. No, he won't talk. You can be sure about that. They'll keep him there for a while just to save face. And they'll have to let him go. No question about it. They can keep him there only for a limited time, according to law. Article 11 and 46. But you're wrong, Don Salvatore. The police have to abide by the law as well as we do. Yes, sure, we know about it. Commissioner, you've got to give me an explanation. I'm sorry. Rock isn't such a fool as to get himself caught with a pistol like that. And if a pistol was found in his jacket, someone must have found a way of getting it in there. Don Salvatore, it's unlawful to carry a gun without a permit. You know that. And Rocca shouldn't have let the cops catch him with a gun in his possession. No, the cops put it in his pocket, but we've got to prove it. You better stay clean. But then you discovered your suspicions were unfounded. Now there'll be no need to. Let's hope not.
You know our newspaper hasn't been doing too well lately. And those photos would be like a hypodermic for our circulation. To say nothing of the prestige. I'd say 3, and even twice as many. And we could cook up a story around Uncle Fifi. That's a good idea. Mention how the poor old man has been struck by paralysis and has been shooting porno pictures to make a living. He ought to pay us for the publicity he'll get. This Uncle Fifi is a man I never even met before, but he'd known him for 25 years, he said. A professional you can trust, you know. I just didn't expect it could wind up like this into a terrible tragedy. All right, let's say it was a risk. But you see, our business is one in which great news is expensive and risky. No. Also mine, Inspector. Because I was supposed to come to this appointment. The kid didn't want it that way, because the deal was made with Roversi, and he'd meet only with him. Take it or leave it. I'm afraid there was no other choice. I don't know yet where it'll be, though you can be quite sure I'll be going there personally. Don't worry about me, Inspector. I feel certain he won't do anything foolish. He'd much rather I go anyway. It's true. But if the young man senses the presence of the police, begins to get scared, and disappears again, I don't know. I admit this whole thing is pretty damn complicated.
Let's see, though. You got him with you? And if Uncle Fifi says it, you can believe it. How come you didn't go straight to the police? They pay, too, for a service of this kind. Not much, but they pay. What do you want for them? 20 million, No, I'm afraid you're way out. Uncle Fifi must have lost his head if for a minute he thought he could sell them at that price. Yes, quite interesting. Especially if the man who was murdered was the prosecuting attorney for the Republic. I know, but you've got a stingy partner, remember? Very good for Uncle Fifi, there's no doubt about it. Oh, it might be good for our prestige, there's no doubt about it. As for the circulation with 10 photos, you might cover a couple of numbers. Yes, we accept. Can you come over here right away? Ask to see Roversi or Mauri. I should come to you, I'll come. Where is it? I hope you can explain to me the meaning of this absurd farce. You know, this kind of game is all right for kids. No, not me, mister. I don't cheat in this kind of deal. You drive a hard bargain, boy. All right.
How could you take these without their seeing?
Right, Doctor. Get that steamroller out of the way. Did you pick up all the exhibits? Verona 10 calling main port 501. Just a moment. Inspector, anything to say to headquarters? How about his voice? You couldn't tell who it was. Like someone who calls there often. And Garou? You're the only person other than Garou who heard the voice of the man who might have killed him.
Look.
Why, sure, I understand. But if you should hear that voice again over the phone or anywhere else, don't forget to give me a ring. Well, you never know. May I? We managed to find that creep. Mario Ceccarelli, alias Ivan Smirkov, alias Uncle Fifi, school for actors and singers. Must manage all right for himself, judging from the address. Via Gerardo da Sassana. Gerardo da Sassana. That street was named after an artist, I guess. Or maybe a prince of the church. Rather important. What do you think, sir? Right away, Inspector. You want your own car, sir? But do you really want to go there alone? He's a wise one, isn't he, sir? You bet I do, Inspector. I was right in front. Thank you, sir. Yours are better.
Come on, Inspector. Don't tell me you don't think this was just an accident and you've another hypothesis of a crime. Certainly you must know there are all kinds of road accidents. And with the motor turned off, you don't believe it would have gone up in flames. You may be right, Inspector. All right. Go ahead and let me know when you come up with something tangible. And remember the newspapers. They'll haunt us day and night. They'll expect us to give them a story, so remember maximum reserve. Well, you've got to be all the more careful then. Now, the sooner we come up with a couple of names to throw to the press hounds, the better. Keep them busy for a while. We must take time with this, Inspector, and let the first wave pass. Then we'll see what happens. And keep me informed, Ghezzi. Whomever this other person may be, I say he knows what he wants, exactly what he wants. Accepting they really existed, these photos. Preferring it to the hypothesis, which is the more logical, I think. A crime of burglary, Inspector. But he could resolve the whole thing before then by getting rid of Uncle Fifi.
No, that's not how it is. No, not true, none of it. I did go by the club that day, but not to get me no darn alibi. I've told you over and over, I went there to speak to someone I know. No, Berto. No, Berto's what I said. He's the man I know. Inspector, I don't recall meeting or talking to nobody else when I went over to that club, and that's all. Berto was the only man I know. Oh, please, not again, for God's sake.
Hi, you look like you ran into Cassius Clay. What happened? Did you get into some fight? Hello? Yes? What's the name? What man? Just a minute. He's here by the phone. It's for you.
No, Marshal. The music was too loud. No. He didn't say much, you know. He just spoke a couple of words and put down the phone. Look, I'm afraid you don't understand. You see, my job pays $90 a month with 1 meal a day, plus tips. And I do only what I'm told to do, but within reason. So I have to be careful if I want to keep my job. I don't think I'd recognize him. Thanks.